So some of you have asked how you get your project to work with Visual Studio Code. And because it's a Gradle project, it basically should work for all kinds of Gradle projects. So I'm just going to show you, and it's not very specific to the project that we have here with JavaFX. So it works for all the Gradle projects, and you wanted to run it with Visual Studio Code. So let's see. First, this is a very fresh Ubuntu. I wanted to show it on a completely empty system because then I can show you how to basically install everything, and that you will not, well, no, that's the wrong one, that you will not have something missing like the Java installation or anything. So let's just select the installation of Visual Studio Code. This probably looks like it's the right one. And then let's see what happens. So because the projects that we're running here with Gradle, they are Java projects, we will have to install some additional plugins in Visual Studio Code. And let's see how this goes. It's almost installed. Now we can try to open it. So you might already have it installed, then of course you don't need to install it again. It should also automatically update itself. So yeah, just so that you see it step by step. So we have it installed. There's already source control. We need to download the Git. Yeah, that's probably a better idea just to install it from some terminal. Open terminal, and then probably it's just Git. Let's see. Let's see if that's what we need. Let's check. Oh, I mean, Git seems to be there. Yeah, how does this thing now realize that Git is there? So let's maybe start Visual Studio Code again. Okay, so we want to clone a repository. And that's the one that we had. Wait, is that the URL? Let's check here. We copy this URL from the repository, but of course, yeah, any way works. Now we need to find a folder. So yeah, let's maybe make a folder called Git and put it there. And then we want to open it. And yeah, we trust the authors. Okay, wants to create a new keyring. Now it tells us, do you want to install the extension pack for Java? That's probably a good idea, right? We want to use Java. So let's see what that's going to include here. Yeah. So we get the complaint that we don't have the JDK yet. The really easiest way, I mean, we could download what they suggest, or easiest way, we could simply try to install it with the package manager. So this will of course be very different from any, well, if you have it on Windows, you install it in a different way, right? And now here under Ubuntu, if you use Ubuntu, the way you install the Java would be install OpenJDK. So we're now going to take the OpenJDK, then the version 21, and then JDK. So that's the name of the package. So if you want to install it under Ubuntu, you do that. If you want to install it under Windows, you just take the Windows installer for Java and install it. And for Mac, I'm sure there are also some similar package management tools. So yeah, let's see if we have Java version. Yeah. So for the Java and for Git, we just installed it using the terminal. Now let's see if we run VSCode again, if it will be happy. Huh. No. Let's say reload. Maybe it's not checking. Let's close this and let's check if it's even there. It looks like it's already there. Right here it says Java initializing workspace. Yeah, so it seems to be there. Now let's see the Gradle file. There are some Gradle icons here, but we don't have yet installed Gradle for Java. So that's also something we need to install. If it doesn't ask you here, then you can also always click on this plugins thing. So the Java extensions, this was, if you search here for the one that we installed initially, I think that would have been this extension pack for Java. You could have simply searched here for extension pack for Java and then installed it. And now Gradle, similarly, we want to install it. So Gradle for Java, also the one verified version here by Microsoft. So yeah, let's say we also want to install that so that we have our Gradle support. That should be the same thing that would have happened if we click this button install. So if it offers you to install it, yeah, just let it install it. If not, you can always click on these extensions here and then install it yourself. Yeah, null annotation types. I don't know. You can either disable or enable. Doesn't really matter. It just stores it in some configuration file. Okay, this message now, because we installed it anyways, we can just remove that message. And then go back to our files. Okay. So I'll make this full screen. There is now up here, that's basically the file explorer. So you can of course see all your files. Down here, that's the Java project explorer. So the way that it displays the same stuff will be slightly different because it will be focused on the code structure. So let's check which one did we configure in our Gradle build file to run. The first one that we configured is the GUI class, so the JavaFX one. Sometimes it does that. Gradle client was unable to connect. Try reconnecting. We just tell it to reconnect and everything should be fine. It's still configuring projects. So sometimes loading a new project will take quite some time, but then once it's done, the next ones should be faster. So now let's see. We have this elephant icon here, which is new. If you don't have it after installing Gradle and everything, you can right click and then select Gradle. So if I deselect it, then the elephant is gone. If I put it back, it's here. And now we could either, of course, run a terminal as we did all the time before to run the applications, or we can say, well, Gradle tasks, the run task, and we can tell it to run this run task. And then it's going to run, of course, what's the run task of our project, and that should be the JavaFX graphical user interface application. First time we're running, maybe it needs to download some dependencies and stuff. So you see here it's still working on the compilation. Now, yeah, here we are. We can load the authors. Yep. We can add a new author. And then load the authors again. Yeah, this works. Great. And then, of course, if we want the command line application, we will simply change those lines in the Gradle file. Now it says, oh, your build wants to be updated. So we can just say, yeah, update, that the configuration in Visual Studio Code also is always up to date to what we did. If we did changes here, if we do more important changes like dependencies, then it should be reloading it. So now let's see if we run the task. What went wrong? Something went wrong. Build failed with an exception. No such element, no line found. The scanner couldn't read the next line. I think this has to do with the kind of console that we're using. Let's see if it works on a regular terminal. So if we open a regular terminal, and then we go to the Git folder, and I think the name, for me, it's the template name because I took the template directly, but you will take the code from your repositories or any other Gradle project, right? So then Gradle wrapper run, permission denied. That's okay. We need to change the Gradle wrapper file permissions so that we can execute it. So and changing the permissions is with this chmod. Now let's see. Oh, we changed Gradle. We changed the wrong file here, the wrapper file, of course. Yeah, and then it should work. Yeah, now it works. So this terminal can read. I'm not sure, maybe the built-in terminal of Visual Studio Code has some issues with reading from the input. So you can always run it in a regular terminal. And this might only, I don't know if this also happens on Windows. I don't think this happens on Windows. Maybe it's just on Ubuntu. Okay, so yeah, this way you can run the stuff and you can explore the code. And now the CLI, did we want to change it? So here, let's do some small change. We saw that I closed the terminal. Let's get it back. If we did the Gradle run here, you noticed if we want to add an author, number 2, add an author, it prints twice that the author has been added. And then if we want to list the author, of course, the author has been only added once here, right? This was from the previous runs. So let's try to fix that. So let's stop this thing. And here we see that's the bug. Let's delete that one line. Save it, and then let's see if we can run it again. Yeah. Add an author. Yeah, now we should have a unique one. So that you can see that, yeah, now author unique added once. It only prints it once. And let's see, we list the authors. Oh, I hit enter too fast. Sorry about that. If we, list the authors, then it shows the unique one still added. Great. Okay, that's that's how you run this stuff with Gradle. The main things were, with Visual Studio Code, the main issues that we had to do is we had to install the Java. We installed that using the command line. We had to install the Java tools. Here, this, the Gradle for Java, and we had to install the Java, what were they called? Like extension pack for Java. That's also what we had to install, but it actually suggested this almost automatically. Okay,